Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be going over the Foursevens Maelstrom MMU-X3 flashlight. High output light from Foursevens, one of their newer lights as well. And we'll get into the features, characteristics of it, but let's go ahead and check out the beam shot of it first. We're going to go ahead and compare it to the Surefire. This one here is a Z2S combat light, 320 lumens, and also the TLR1. This one's the HL model, which is 630 lumens. Now they market this as sort of a tactical light, so that's why we're comparing it to a couple other tactical lights out there on the market. And let's step outside and see how it does. There you see the Surefire, and there's my dog taking a leak. You can see how it lights up that shed. That shed's about 25 meters away. Again, that fence out there about 35 meters. Now, here is the Foursevens. You can see the difference in the flood, in the hotspot, and the total output is just dwarfing what you just saw there on that Surefire. Again, the Surefire is a good light, good modern light. It'll do pretty well in most instances, but this stuff right here, this Foursevens is putting out is just impressive. Oh, there's my dog Colt. He's taking a dump. Check that out. So again, Surefire, Foursevens. You can see the difference. There you see the TLR. Definitely, again, a very bright, modern light. Very impressive. I've reviewed this one in the past very positively. And there you see the Foursevens, definitely still brighter. You can see the flood there, very floody, even and very bright on the flood. So again, the Streamlight and the Foursevens. See the hotspot differences. And again, that's the low function there. You can see that low function still plenty bright. I mean, you're getting a lot of illumination out there. And that's the differences, guys. Low function, high function. When you get the light in, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get a couple extra O-rings, and you're going to get this light holster for carrying on your belt should you choose to do so. You're also going to get the light itself, obviously. Now, as you just saw with those beam comparison shots out there, we were comparing it to a couple different high output tack lights. Both those lights have good beam patterns and are nice bright lights, but this thing just outshines it by a good bit, as you saw. On high, you're going to be generating 1600 lumens. Runtime on that one is going to be 2.5 hours. On low, it's going to be 200 lumens with a runtime of 11 hours. And the peak intensity of the light when it's on high, let me actually turn it on here, is going to be generating 18,000 candela. The spot beam angle is 12 degrees, so you get a nice hot spot there, nice bright hot spot. And overall, the light's going to come in at just over 5.5 inches long, 1.8 inches wide, and it does weigh in at 6 ounces. Now, let's talk about what's powering that sucker. What's powering it there is one 26650 lithium-ion rechargeable battery. Now, for those of you guys that have the previous generations of this light, it is the same battery it uses. So if you already have the battery and the charger, you're set and good to go. Notice on the tail cap there, we do have a spring, and the light does arrive lubricated with the O-ring in there. And when you're turning it on there, one thing you notice, and for those of you guys that have a lot of different lights out there, you'll know what I'm talking about. Everything on there is smooth and no rough spots, no nothing. So definitely good threads there. Up front here, what you see is 3 Cree XML2 emitters, and that's why you're generating that beam pattern that you guys saw there. It wasn't exactly perfectly round, and that's because there's 3 different emitters out there. Let's talk about operation. Now, operation is very simple, as you just saw there. If you want to leave it on, I just turn the tail cap and you leave it on. And if you want to run it with the tail switch, which is what most people are going to do, you just push the button in and it is momentary on only. Now you'll notice it does switch back and forth between high and low. So high and then your low setting. So that's how you do it. That's how it works there. And if you want to leave it on, you just leave it on. And if you want to lock it out, you just turn it and it will not work. Can't do a review without talking about price. This sucker comes to market right at $120, give or take, depending on where you buy it. But all in all, it is an excellent light. Waterproof, excellent high output, as you guys saw. I mean, it's impressive. I know the camera sometimes doesn't do it justice, but when you see this thing out there, I mean, it lights up my entire backyard. I'm sure the neighbors are looking across the yard thinking, what the heck is that? But very, very bright, extremely bright, especially when you think of the size of it. It's so small. Like, I remember, for those of you who watch the channel for a while now know, I went to the police academy, what, probably 15 years ago now, a long time ago, and I remember our instructors telling us about 60 lumen lights and how awesome they were and how they were going to change the way you search for things. So, and those were big mag lights, so to go from that 15 years ago to this, what we have here is such a small package with just exponentially more output, and probably a longer runtime as well. It's just really impressive. But all in all, good light. The one thing I would change about it, if I had to change anything, is I would make it a programmable tail cap. You have to go between high and low, and for me, you know, especially for tactical lights, I like to have the option to just set it on high and then go back to high and low for those of you guys who are just going to use it sort of as like an everyday carry light and just all-around flashlight. But that's just me. Not a huge deal. I mean, like you just saw there, it's very easy to switch between. So if you're on low and you want to go to high, it's quick. You know, you can do it as quick as you can click the tail cap. So not a big issue, but all in all, that's the review of the light. Awesome light, especially for the little package that it comes in. If you guys have any questions about this review or anything else I talk about here on the channel, you can feel free to post below in the comments section. You can also post over at my Facebook page. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next video.